Hello everyone, welcome back. This is round 9 of CDR's F2 Championship. This week we're in the Netherlands. That is loud and clear. Let me just mute that for everyone. So, yeah, round 9. 5 or 6 races left of the season. Quite a full grid tonight. Good to see people back after couple of weeks out. Got Nerf and Max back after a couple of weeks. I think Carl is back tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, should be. Nibs and Fulls and Dave back in as well. Everyone, I think, finally finishing the summer holidays, getting back onto the racing. So let's have a driver standings. Have just come out. If anyone hasn't seen it yet. Just been this minute posted. Let's have a quick run through them while we've got a bit of time. Wookie has pulled himself up into P1. Under the radar, Wookie at the start of the season, just pulling consistent points out of the bag. I think this scoring system is working really well for the F2 this year. Everyone really close together. Just 8 points from Oliver Ritchie in P2. Let's have a look at the week before. Yeah, Northern that had a bit of a week to forget last week. That's dropped him down to 3rd, being overtaken by Wookie and Ritchie. Race winner last week, CDR Luke back in the MP Motorsport this week as another reserve. It's one of the 2 we have on the grid tonight. We have Luke and Well Anyway in the Trident. Evening Toby. Hope everyone is doing well for the Tuesday back in after the bank holiday. If anyone got up to watch, whack it in the comments. Yeah, Northern that, as I say, dropping down to P3 in the championship, just 4 points behind Ritchie. That's how close this championship is. On 157. 4th, Toby again. Consistent season up to now for Toby on 149. Harvey's been thereabouts on 128 in P5. Lutman tonight. Sure, he's had a couple of race wins. Or if not, he's had a podium or 2. 115 points. Mechanical down in P7, just on 99. Clay just 2 behind him in P8 on 97. Just 1 behind him is Rapid. Clay is just behind him, 10 points behind. No, that's 20 points behind. Bit of a gap there from P9 to P10 with Nerf Pack. Yeah, just 5 behind him is VDV in P11. And just 4 behind him is Harold P12. Airways, he's got 63, just 2 behind. So it is very, very tight, even through that midfield. So you can grab pole position in this one-shot qualifying this evening. Zandvoort, very technical track, I think, really. A lot of nice bank corners, though, in the process. Sector 1 is quite enjoyable, really, in the F1s. Hopefully the F2 can bring that excitement tonight. Evening Mechanical. Hope you're well, mate. Last week's driver of the day went to CDR Luke after that's impressive feature race win. Let's have a look at the constructors. Isn't as fun, Mechanical saying. Oh. Well, Rodin, Mechanical, you and Oliver Ritchie are top of the Constructors' Championship on 260 points. Just behind you, 15 points behind is the ARTs. Who is in the ARTs? Nerf Pack and Wookie. Wookie there, consistent Nerf Pack's missed a couple of weeks. He's done well there to keep yourself up in P2. 29 points behind them is the MPs. It's all Richie Mechanical saying. Yeah, the MPs just behind them on 216 points. P3 Invicta. That's Toby, done very well this season. They are up in P4, 204 points. Just behind them is Campos on 193 points. Just behind them is the VAR. No one likes them, of course, 180. Dams just after them, 135. Followed by the Trident, 123. The Premier Motorsports on 104. And unfortunately for the iTechs, way back in P10, just on the 27. Captain Nibs and Full Send Dave need to pull some points out of the bag for the high-tech team. One shot quality just about to get underway. What is the Netherlands weather going to throw at us this evening? First couple of races of the season they have quite a bit of rain. Second half have been dry. See what we have this evening. We have rain qualified at least. Who can take the pole in the wet? We know that Word 45 is very good at taking pole positions in this F2 Championship. Luke isn't far behind him. Let's have a look at the stats on that one there. Northern Nat were 1 second. Let me just get full wet tyres for CDR Luckman as he starts his one and only flying lap of this session. Throws it into turn 1, keeps it nice and tight. It's really easy to go wide on the exit there. You have to cut turn 3, try not to take a lot of curb in the wetter course. Very nice bank corner, turn 4. Up the hill, flat out now until the right hander. So Northern Nat has got himself 4 out of 9 poles. Well, 4 out of 8 up to now. This is round 9. Luke, CDR Luke with 2, Richard with 1. There's 3 pole sitters up to now. In the 9th race, Gringer 4th. As Luckman find it really difficult on traction there, just to get the grip through the rear tyres. Nice sequence of corners if you get it right. That easy to get it wrong. Lose quite a bit of time there, but quite composed and steady from Luckman as he goes round the final corner. Would have DRS, not in the rain. He won't have that to help him. See what time Luckman can set. Luckman goes P7 with 31 flat, but Bucky puts himself P1, half a second clear of that time, I think. Let's get the final standings in a moment. Didn't quite catch that. Bucky did put himself pole. A 30.5, just under 2 tenths a second as well anyway in the Trident. CDR Luke, so 2 out of 3 of the top 3 are reserves. Wookie got quite a bit of a gap buffer there from Toby and Harold behind, who he is fighting against for this championship. Where does Oliver Ritchie starts in P11 and we're Nat disqualified. That is really big for Northern Nat there. Going to have to fight his way through the back of the grid on this one. Didn't have a good weekend last week. Got started with a stinker tonight. That's unlucky for Nat. Can he pull a race out the bag there to pull himself back up? Obviously, all positions do score in the feature race, so that's a positive. So he will be getting at least something. But Wookie there with his first pole of the season will be very happy with that, just to try and stretch his lead out. First time he has been at the top of the standings this year. Can he stretch that to the guys behind? 10 places to Richie, and we're at the back of the grid. No compulsory pit stops in this sprint race. Whatever the guys choose should be running to the end. See if we have a mixture. We had a mixture last week in China. Some of the soft runners did make them tyres work. So are we going to have the same again this week? Waiting for guys to finalise setups, tyre pressures, and that's about it, I'm afraid. Once they go into Parc Fermé, come out for the one-shot qualifying lap, locked in for the sprint race. New rule this year, it might be taking slightly longer. The admins do have to ready up so the game can commence more or less. Gives everyone a bit of time to change things if they need to. That's why this bit is taking slightly longer for last season. As formation lap is about to start. As Max takes pole after qualifying P10 in the qualifying, Harvey and Mechanical needs to grab a couple more points to pull his team close to the top spot in the championship. Two cars there next to it with Rapid in the middle of that sandwich. Luckman and Harold. Toby, starting P7, constantly in the top 10. Toby at the moment. Always that yellow car in the Victor knocking around. CDR Luke, we've seen quite a bit of in the reserves this season. And always a race winner. Can he pull a decent one off tonight? Well, anyway, he's also a very quick driver, as stated by that pulse at that time. So let's see. Lucky, I've just got Richie behind as Richie power 5 P11. That'll be a good battle to watch out for in this opening sprint race. Get on board with the front runners. That's the only person to miss his marks is VDV, unfortunately. Starting sequence just about to begin. Engines revved. And we are off racing in Zandvoort. F2 Championship, round 9 gets underway. As Toby has already made it past, Rapid has lost a couple of places already. Harold and who's that off? That is Nerf Pack off in the gravel. As we go to turn 4, we're side by side. Harold getting a bit of contact there from Rapid. Great battle going into turn 5. Nose to tail at this moment. Everyone's got to pick the braking point spot on. The Red Bull livery of Rapid is putting a lot of pressure on him well anyway there for that P8 spot. As we've got yellow flags at the moment, that is Wookie dropping. Oh no, it's not. It's Harvey dropping all the way back to the back of the grid. I'm sure I've seen Wookie drop a couple of places there as well. No, he has just Evening Wabbit. just come to the start of the sprint race. He was that lucky, has got himself just up on, no, where he started. He is where he started. So is Max out in front, just under a second, 9 tenths. Pulling a nice gap out to Mechanical in P2, them two. Max is where he started, Mechanical and Luckman. Made it past Rapid. Toby's got through. Harvey's dropped all the way back to P18 from the front running positions. CDR Luke is putting Harold under some serious pressure coming down that first little, it's not a straight but it is flat out. Not a place you could really overtake going into that corner, but fully alongside. Should be left. Everyone in DRS other than Captain Nibs and Luckman at the moment. Just two trains all battling hard for position. Let's have a look at the tyres. Not even. Let's have a look at them at the moment. Right, so pole sitter Max starts on the soft compound. Then everyone up to Clay starts on the mediums. Just got Clay, Nerf Pack and Max on them softs. 15 laps round Zandvoort on a set of softs. We'll see how the tyres are hanging on towards the back end of this race as Harold and Well Anyway battling for position. Well Anyway might be just trying to make the move on Luke as Toby tries to go up the inside of Luckman. Luckman says no, shuts the door. They stay third and fourth. Mechanical just pulling Max in by a couple of tenths. Only up to 5.5 tenths now. Was 9. Big battle further back. Bulsen Dave is battling with Were, who's also trying to make the move on Captain Nibs. His back run out of cars just after VDV. As Richie is off into the grass, going to lose a handful of positions. That's not good for his championship battle. He is at the back of the grid, unfortunately. Good evening, Pint Size. Good couple of laps up to now. Clay putting a bit of pressure on his teammate on them soft tyres. Doesn't want to push too hard. Something for the team game as well as the drivers. Toby's finally just made it past Luke. Past Luckman, sorry. And tries to fight it through turn 3. Not an overtaking spot as an orthodox one anyway. Very hard to try and send the move in there. Luke's putting Luckman under pressure now. Got a yellow flag, we have a car round. He's got going again. That's his Fulson Dave. And that is the other one in Captain Nibs. Not having a great race once again. The high-tech team. Fulson Dave is missing his front wing. We'll have to box for a new one. No damage on Nibs. As I can see. Max Mario has just lost the lead to Mechanical. Them tyres must be starting to show signs of wear. Lap 5 of 15. Always Max tries to fight it around the outside of turn 4. Mechanical had just a better grip there. He's starting to pull away as we have Fulson Dave pit and quit. Could have put a front wing on, come back out. You never know what had happened. 10 laps to go. And Nicole's dropping Max now. Toby needs to try and dispatch Max as quickly as possible to not try and lose as much time. There's 1.1 seconds from him and Mechanical up to now. Wants to try and not let him not be held up by Max, really. He's got a bit of a buffer, just under a second back to Luckman there. He's pushing Luckman though. He's not just holding position. These two are battling hard. Just behind them as well anyway, and Harold is he's just a second behind. Max is making a lot of time in the braking zones, but he's not utilising that straight line speed. Possibly with his slightly higher wings and Mechanical. Oh, as that is Harvey DNF. I think that was it as well. I'm not too sure what happened there. Still got 17 of 19 runners in this race. Lap 6 of 15. Battle's going on a bit further back. Has managed to pull 7 places there. He's up into P12. P10 is the final point scoring position of this sprint race. Needs to try and make a couple more places up if he wants to score a point. As that was VDB having a big snap there on exit. 2 Red Bull livery cars seem to have swapped places, Clay and Rapid. Nerfpack is the first person to pick up a time penalty, 3 seconds for Nerfpack. Bucket is fighting Harold. You can see how close together these cars are at the moment. Waiting just for the drive in front. Try to make a mistake, try and force the guy in front to make a mistake. This is technical stuff, this, on a very technical circuit. I know these cars drive nothing like the Formula 1 car. It's going to be hard to get one round here, I'd imagine. As Luke is pulling back, Luckman in tight now, just under 2 tenths, just gone back over 2 tenths that has, so it's dragging well anyway. Harold Wookie back into contention here for these final podium. Everyone's in contention for a podium spot at the moment. Any mistake from the top 5, 6, 7 drivers, you're dropping down at least to P13, P14. Toby's just finally made it past Max. He's got 1.3 seconds. It's only just dropped 2 tenths behind Max in that lap. Can he pull that back? See how that time looks in a moment. Obviously, he's got past Luckman now anyway. He's putting Luckman under pressure. Max fighting out just in front for that final podium position. As Max goes very deep there, Luke will be looking at that. So there's 1.3 seconds behind still. Not managed to gain much in that sector. Got work, finally made it past Rapid. Got VDV now in front. And Clay's not doing too badly with them softs. So that's positions gained and lost. Mechanical out in P1. He's up 2 places. Toby had a good start. He's up 5. Max down 2, 3. Biggest gainer at the moment is Were. He's up in P11 after starting from the back. Not a bad race from him. And biggest loser is Rapid after must have been some sort of issue somewhere. Rapid getting done now by Gold and Nerf Pack. Rapid got some sort of damage we can't see. Must just have had a moment there, that's cost him another couple of places. Captain Nibs still just racing. Fair play to Nibs. That's what we like to see. Using it as practice at the back. Anything could happen. Saved car, bunch to full grid up. And straight back in the race there, mate. Out in front. A couple of gaps started to open at the top three. Mechanical. Toby's managed to pull him in by a couple of tenths this lap. Max has just been overtaken by Luke. He's down in P4 now. Will be next. Then soft tyres starting to trouble Max a bit, I think. It's a big gamble starting on them softs. Just hoping everybody else thinks the same. Well, anyway, he's made the move on Lutman after he had a bit of a moment there at the end of sector 1. That's put him up into P5. Lutman fighting it round the outside door of 7. DRS open. He's going to try up the inside. Is he going to try it? No, thinks better of it. After the yellow flag. I think that's going again. Not too sure who that was. I think it was Kane in the back there, P16 at the moment. There's Lutman. We have someone in the pits. That is Max Mario in the pits. Them soft tyres he needs to get rid of. Putting them straight in the bin. Doesn't want to see them ever again. And Max just chose wrong there with that selection of tyre, I think. Clay now battling with EDV. He's also on them soft tyres as his Were is going to try around the outside. Were's on the grass there, turning that F2 car into a lawnmower for a short while. Did well to keep that under control. Big squeeze from Clay. Does Were think that's worth a report or not? We will see after. Big squeeze by Clay. Lutman is under big pressure from Harold and looking behind. Toby's managed to pull another couple of tenths out of Mechanical's lead there. 9 tenths now separating the top 2. He's got 4 more laps to try and pull that in a bit more. We're up into that final position. Will be scoring a point if he finishes where he is at the moment, just in front of Richie. That will be bitter for Richie, I think. As Were's putting big pressure on Clay. Clay is applying that as well to BDV in front. Can Clay keep hold of them soft tyres just that tiny bit longer? 3 laps to go after this. That leads dropped to 4 tenths now. Toby must have had, Mechanical must have had a moment there. He's dropped 5 tenths this lap. Luke, front's 3, separated by 7 tenths of a second. This is going to be a shootout to the end back for these 3. All quick drivers. You've got the 4 pack behind, all battling the exact same. Guys can't look at 2 battles at once, fortunately. As Toby Mechanical dart to the inside, swerving to the outside. Toby's going to try and make the move on Mechanical going into turn 1. He takes the inside line. Mechanical loses that position, tries to fight it up the outside. Toby takes turn 3. As we go into the bank corner of turn 4, Toby has got that move done. New race leader on lap 13 is Toby. He's being pushed hard by Mechanical, knows if any of these two make a mistake, Luke is there to pounce on it straight away. Gutman and well anyway, swapping positions just behind the front pack. These 4 battling away. As Wookie is trying to go up the inside of Harold. Doesn't get that move done, unfortunately. Is he going to try a move up to this tight right-hander? Just pull to the inside. Oh, thinks better of it. Harold went slightly too deep there. Wookie will be all over that coming down this main straight. Everyone is going to have DRS though, other than Well Anyway. Well Anyway could be under big pressure from Lutman. Lutman has that DRS flap open. 170, there's 10 mile an hour speed difference there. Further two guys fighting, and Lutman does get that move done with the help of DRS. Harold's just still managed to hold Wookie off there. Toby just 3 attempts now. As after pitting, Max takes the fastest lap. These three have got a 4.4 second gap to the cars behind. It is another great battle for this midfield. 3 attempts separating the top 2. Mechanical tries to stick his nose in. Just about keeps it clean. Just about ready to start the final lap. Only a couple more chances to make that move. Mechanical needs to make it on Toby. Luke might be looking at the move on Mechanical. Let's see who wins out at the start, at the end of this main straight, as Lutman picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's a big loss for Lutman. As Mechanical does try to go up the inside on the final lap. 3 from nearly coming together there through turn 1. Luke trying to take a sniff up Toby. Toby will be fuming that he's just conceded that place to Mechanical. As we're on the final lap. Richie and Clay swapping positions a bit further back. Front 3 out in front. Separated by just under 9/10 of a second. These 5 cars battling over 6th and 7th, 8th position. Lutman carrying that penalty, so I don't think we'll fight the cause too hard. Won't want to lose too much time. Well, anyway, we'll have a bit of a sigh of relief as he sees that penalty pop up next to Lutman's name. So we'll try it. Lutman has got DRS to defend. Oh, Lutman. That was the final lap of the race. I thought we had another lap there. That is Mechanical taking the lead, taking the win. Toby P2, CDR Luke taking that final spot on the podium. Caught me by surprise, that. Thought we had another lap. Mechanical getting the better of Toby there on that final lap. Them two battled it out from the start after Max had to pit. Them soft tyres didn't work out at all for him. The two front runners on the mediums. Taking first and second. Luke making his way onto the podium again after his race win last week. Great side-by-side action from most of the drivers there on the grid. Not an easy track to go wheel-to-wheel battles, but they did a fantastic job of displaying that there. So let's get the final race results. Toby Mechanical does take that P1 spot. Just behind him is Toby. P3 is Luke. Well, anyway, starting 9th takes P4, Harold P5, Wookie P6, VDV P8, P7, Richie P8, Clay P9, and round out the top 10 is King Lutman. Championship contender were P11, unfortunately not scoring a point there. Max, after starting on the wrong tyre, finds himself down in P12. Does take the fastest lap. I think that only counts if you're in the top 10, of course. Unfortunately, two DNFs in Fulsen Dave and Harvey. Bit overcast here in Netherlands. Guys, just tinkering with the cars. Let's put that in there. So after that, let's have a look. Mechanical with his first sprint race of the season, I think. Let me have a check of these stats. That is Mechanical's first win of the season. Congratulations, Cole. Good to see you up there. It's not always just Richie, as you were saying before. Luke up there again. Often when he does participate in this Formula 2 championship, he is usually around the top spots. We'll be happy that he got 1 point on the board after a difficult qualifying session. Managed to get himself up into the top 10. We'll be getting this feature race underway shortly. Formation lap for round 9 gets underway. Championship leader Wookie takes that pole position that he got in the one-shot qualifying well anyway, just under 2 tenths behind him. CDR last week's winner starts P3. Toby, as we've just seen there, very quick driver, starts P4. Could be looking at a podium, if not a race win today for Toby after the pace he's just shown there. Harold didn't do too badly. Rapid, a bit of a race to forget there, found himself dropping back quite a few times. Mechanical, obviously, after that win, will be eager to try and get up the grid. Unfortunately for Harvey, did not finish the race. He was also starting on the soft compound tyres. Let's have a look what the guys will be starting on. Big mixture once again. Paul Lucky is taking mediums, taking no chances on the softs. Don't blame him, to be honest. I think if that's a strategy to go, I'd always start on the hard tyres just in case anything happens. Apart from, well, just a bit of a safer option, I'd say, for the front runners. Well, anyway, thinking might try something different. Why not? He's in reserve, starting up there. Why not try something different? Don't blame him, but when Wookie does have a championship on the line, do not blame him for that. Just the one player in. Harvey missing his marks. Midfield, quite a few in the midfield on the soft tyre. See how they fare up in these opening stages. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're off for the feature race here in Zandvoort. Wookie keeps it nice and clean. Everyone looks like turn 1 is nice and clean there. Just the one position change in Luckman. Well, anyway, actually it just drops out of that P2 spot to Luke. Toby is looking up the inside of well anyway as well. Is he going to try it? No, but it does nudge Luckman onto the grass there, trying to avoid the back of well anyway. Don't think any of that was intentional, just didn't have anywhere really to go. Rapid is putting pressure on Mechanical, nearly takes Mechanical out there, has a little snap on the exit. Harvey, Max, oh, we have a bit of a move by Captain Dibs nearly. VDV just going through on Clay on VDV, sorry. Richie just trying to make his way through on Max. Quite a lot going on, just 2 temps separating the top 2 at the moment. Just pulls that to 4, as I said that. Kane and Full Send Dave. It's Kane off into the gravel in the Invicta. Unfortunate for Kane, finds himself at the back. Full Send Dave. Gould were already up 3 positions. He started on them softs. Thought he might try something different while he's at the back. Let's check how close these 3 are together. Word will not want to get caught in any silly business, as he nearly gets rear-ended by Full Send Dave. Very lucky there. Full Send Dave just about managed to get that car stopped. Maybe putting Clay. Everyone is under pressure here. Mechanical on Harold. Which is up on position. Up in his P10. 2 temps out front. Looks a lot closer than 2 temps. That just dropped, as we have Rapid again dropping back. Harvey losing a couple of places. Rapid finds himself at the back. Keeps that 16th spot. Thought he might have dropped then as well. As Luke will have the aid of DRS this lap, as Full Send Dave picks up the 10-second warning for ignoring yellow flags. Luke tries up the inside of Wookie to take the lead. Big defensive move from Toby on Luckman. Luckman just a bit too far away from that. Richie has just made it past his teammate in Mechanical, as Harvey now picks up a 10-second for speed in the pit lane. We're already up to 15th after 3 laps. Got Full Send Dave just in front of him. Wookie's just dropping Wookie 0.6 of a second in that sector 1. Is Wookie going to be under a bit of pressure? Toby is put in well anyway, under a lot of pressure coming through sector 2. 2.5 tenths separating them guys. Top 8 in DRS. Just under a second. Is that going to drop? Just over a second. Max and Captain Nibs battling as Max just loses a couple of places through that final corner as we've got a yellow flag and we've got someone stopped on track. That is Harvey. He's found himself facing the wrong way. Back on board with mechanical. Right, putting a bit of pressure on the last of the front runners on the softs. On lap 3, Luke took the lead from Wookie, so he dropped him by a second in that opening lap. Well, anyway, just hovering around half a second behind, just closing slightly through that couple of corners. Let's look how close the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th cars are at the moment. 10th is VDV just at the back of this train. Got a 3.8 second gap between Nibs at the start of the next train, as you can see there. Wilson Dave on CV Gould defends, goes a bit deep there, gives Dave a lot of room there, kind of invited that. Doesn't need to leave the door quite as open there. He's going to keep. Is he going to keep P15 or is Max finds himself nearly going round there on the exit of 4. Did well to keep it on the track as well. Anyway, he's made it past Wookie now into P2. Slight advantage in them soft tyres in this opening stage. No one else really making much of an inroad on them softs. As Fulson Dave is the next to pick up a time penalty. Richie putting Harold under quite a lot of pressure. Package the next one to pick up as the second time penalty. Richie didn't know which way to go there. Harold just stuck it in the middle. Nice defensive drive from Harold. Well, anyway, pulling too far in front of Wookie there. Wookie can use the DRS still in defence of Toby, as Toby is so much faster through that section of corners. Toby wants to dispatch Wookie. Harold and Richie going side by side. Harold makes that move. Nice on Richie there, up into P6. Sets his sights on his teammate out in front, Lutman. Will have DRS. So will Richie. Mechanical being defensive to play behind. just keep in front of Clay, just by 3 tenths. Toby is gaining unlucky once again. It's a very slim track this, so opportunities for overtaking are quite limited round here, unfortunately. It's very tight and twisty in parts, and the bits that are flat out still do have a bit of a bend in them. So apart from the main straight, of course, which is flat out after the second to last corner. Clay just around going up the inside, picking up a bit of gravel is Mechanical as he makes his way through. Clay does try and fight that move. VDB is pulling in closer with these two battling as the road-in of Mechanical does not have DRS. But Clay in front does, as Richard is the first one to pit. Captain is going past his teammate, so does Kane there, but Kane goes very deep. Full Send Dave takes that. I think that was a bit of team play from the high-tech cars there, letting Captain Nibs through. Kane nearly took the advantage there, but went slightly too deep into turn 1. Full Send Dave said, "Thank you very much, I'll take that place back." Well, anyway, has been dropped by Luke out in front, 3.5 seconds, 3.4. Luke is still only 4 tenths behind. Anyway, cannot pull him in any closer than that. It's been like that for the last 4 or 5 laps. Just allowing Luke to stretch his legs out in front. Toby not really able to pull in closer either. We've got a bit of tyre management going on from the guys. Lucky, he's going to try and make this move now on anyway, as anyway peels off into the pits. So does Toby. Toby's into the pits. Is he not? No, he isn't. That was Luckman, well anyway, and Mechanical all decided to box. So lap 9 of 20, 11 laps on them mediums. So them guys managed to get 8 laps of racing. I expect the medium runners to pit around lap 12. Only a couple more laps, 11, 12. A couple of gaps starting to form now as the pitted cars just fall back a bit. We're coming out the pits is in P16. Got bit of clean air to get the tyres up to optimal conditions. Harvey is at the back. Full Send Dave. PA after not everyone's pitted. Not a bad feature race up to now for Dave. But the pace of Luke in these F2 cars is frightening compared to everybody else at this stage in the game. That was Lucky taking up the inside there. Didn't really fight it too much on Toby. Toby takes P2. Dropped Harold back slightly, just a second and a half. Lucky will be just trying to hoping for a podium at this stage, I think. Let's have a look a bit further down as VDB with battling with Nerf Pack and Clay just picks up his first penalty. That's 3 seconds for VDV. Kane, after finding himself in the gravel, is up to P10. Got Oliver Ritchie box just getting past Rapid there after pitting. fresh tyres working in Richie's favour there. As Clay is the first of the medium runners to pit, lap 11. There's 2 laps in the strategies there. That opens up a bit of a gap for the runners in front, really. Captain Nibs, Fulls and Dave still battling away with Kane for the 7th, 8th and 9th positions. After a terrible sprint race for Fulls and Dave, finds himself in the top 8. He's carried a penalty, but on track position is all that matters sometimes. Penalties are one of those things. 4.2 seconds. Luke has pulled his lead out on Toby. The front runners going to pit, or they're going to hang out for an extra lap. Luke stays out. Toby and Wookie into the pit, so is Harold. No, he thinks otherwise. VDV opting to stay out. See where Toby and Wookie come out after these pit stops as Kane picks up a 10-second speed in the pit lane penalty. Richie and Toby battling. Toby and then fresh out the blanket softs. To get caught up behind a slower car. Harvick now picks up a 10-second time penalty. Harvick retires from the race. Wilson Dave picks up another 3 seconds. So Toby finds himself just under 2 seconds in front of Wookie there. Luckman in the middle of them 2 after starting on the soft tyres. Front runners still staying out. Oh no, front 3 all deciding to box on lap 12. Harvey saying worst night ever. We all have them at some point. I've had quite a few on this game, not really enjoying it as much as I was last year's game, to be honest. Lookman is just making his way past Wookie there for the P5. Lookman got his tyres warmed up. Wookie's just come out the pits. I've just had a lap on them softs. Luke has a 1.5 second gap out in front again after pitting. So that's worked out beautifully for Luke. Great drive from Luke once again this week. Lap 13 of 20. Richie and Toby going side by side there. Toby's going to try up the inside, get the move done. She says, not a chance, shuts the door firmly in his face there. Both off the DRS now. Is Toby going to try and make that move into turn 1? Going to have to be a bold move from Toby. Just backs out of it at the final minute there. Wookie gets past Luckman once again as we have a yellow flag coming down the final corner there. Who's that? That is Kane. Just caught Got the barrier there by the looks of things. And coming straight into the pits. Oh, Rapid there picks up a 10-second speed in the pit lane penalty as Rapid retires. Tolbert just made it past Richie up into the top three. Well, anyway, as Richard made it past Lucky once again for that P4 spot. Only 2 tenths behind anyway there, both on mediums. Is Richard going to, as they come through sector 2, keeping close to the backer anyway, out in front. Goes anyways, goes sliding through the left-hander there, nearly loses it. Richard did well not to make a bit of contact there. Richard's all over the back. Anyway, he's not going to have DRS to defend. Richard will have it to attack. Gets that rear wing open. Keeps it tight to the inside curb. Luke takes the new fastest lap. 1:19 flat. That is Richie getting past anyway there into turn 1. Clay going side by side with Lutman. Mechanical. Everyone fighting out here. Deep, that's going to allow Mechanical to go through. We're only in P10 at the moment, has pulled himself up 9 places. We'll grab a handful of points here tonight if it stays as it is. Out in front, Luke has got nearly 4-second gap out to Toby. Toby has a time penalty as well. Didn't see that there. Is that? Oh, that's a 10-second time penalty for Toby. That's really not what Toby would have wanted coming into this race. He's running out in P2 with that 10-second time penalty. Gaps opening up at the back with Lutman at Nerf Pack, sorry, CB Gold, Max Mario, Full Send Dave, Kane still P17 going round, not pitting and quitting. It's the sort of drivers that CDR is looking for. Has got his teammate just behind him on track. We'll get blue flags to get out of the way. Luke has already got through as they just take off to the grass there. Well done, lad. Just to jump out of the way of the front runners. Doesn't want to ruin anybody else's race. Fair play, lad. That's what we like to see. Get up to racing speed. Don't just see that. Well, anyway, was gaining quite rapidly there on Richie. Just ran out of straight to make that move. Pack, first week back after a couple of weeks off, running in P12. CB Gould, 10 seconds back from him, running in P13. Not seen much of CB Gould tonight. Let everyone have a bit of air time. It's hard to get everyone in all at once. He's a good driver, CB Gould, always there. Checks in every week, always puts full effort in. Very rarely quits. Always a clean, respectful driver. He'll be putting a bit of pressure on Worth for that top 10 spot. We're going to see any moves. It's a fast play. One lap to go, 19 of 20 here in Zandvoort this evening. They do fly around rapid these races. Luke up to, Toby up to, Richie all the way up in P3, P8 will be P3, so will be inheriting P2. Up 9 positions in this feature race. Possible contender for driver of the day there from Richie. Great performance in both sprint and the feature race. Do like to share the driver of the days out. Don't want to give the same drivers every week. As he's pushing work round that final corner. Just about to start the final lap. Luke's coming round P2. Luke is coming round at turn 1. P2 Toby, 3.9 seconds behind. Which has got anyway. Harold Wookett all over the back of his gearbox. All of these in DRS. Battle all throughout this race with Mechanical, Clay, Lutman. Wookett has been in the top 5, 6 all race. Just didn't have that speed of Luke in front. Toby's managed to pull away as well. Pressure as Luke comes around the final corner for the final time tonight. Starts straight to the finish line. Luke takes the win here in Zandvoort this evening for CDR's Formula 2. Second place will be Toby, but he will lose that to Richie after that time penalty is served. Well, anyway, does take that final podium position. Harold takes P4, Wookett takes P5. Clay takes P6, Lutman is P7, where after starting from the back of the grid makes his way up into P8. Mechanical, after the sprint race win here tonight, finishes P9, and Toby, after that 10-second time penalty after finishing P2 on track, has dropped all the way down to P10. Toby is not happy about the time penalty. Could possibly be disputed in the steward's room, depending on what obviously caused that. It's one of them lads. I've had a few ruin a couple of races, nothing worse than a stupid error causing you a podium finish back at the end of the day there. Unfortunately, do not have time for the interview tonight, boys. Do apologise for that. Got a couple of things to do before I get myself to bed, up early for work in the morning. So, yeah, I have to give it a miss tonight. But congratulations to the podium there. And another win for CDR Luke. I suspect we might see him in a full-time seat this season. Fastest lap also goes to Luke. Driver of the day is given to Richie. Most overtakes is Richie as well. Cleanest driver is Clay, as we've seen some very good side-by-side battles from Clay there. So there's your final race results for the feature race in Netherlands this week. Just the two non-finishers in Rapid and Harvey. Everyone else picking up a couple of points for themselves this evening. So that is the Formula 2 Round 9 all wrapped up here in Netherlands. Congratulations to Luke on another win and to Mechanical on the sprint race win. Congratulations to Oliver Ritchie and anyway there on the podiums there. So we will see you. Nice one, everyone, for tuning in as always. Next week we are in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix F2 edition. That is same time, 8:30 Tuesday. The CDR F1 divisions Friday, 8 o'clock for Tier 1 and 2, 8:30 for Tier 3 on Sunday. Hopefully see you all then, and everyone enjoy the rest of your weeks. Nice one for tuning in. We'll speak to you all soon.